Hi guys, so I used 3 different colors. You can use whichever you prefer. I'm using chunky yarn and a 6mm hook. First, you'll make a magic circle. Unfortunately, I recorded out of frame, but don't worry, I made a different video showing you how to make a magic circle and basically the first 3 steps of how to make a crochet circle. It's the video right below this one, so check it out if you don't know how to make a magic circle. But if you do, then just fast forward to the part where we're changing colors. I'm so sorry, I really had no idea I was out of the frame until I watched the videos after I had finished making like literally half of the hat. So I'm really sorry, but I did another video for you. So yeah. And you don't need to change colors. If you just want a plain color, you can do this as well. And if you want 2 or more, basically you can do whatever you want. So for the color change, what I did was I created a slip stitch with a new color of yarn. Then I inserted it at the end. So you see where your circle ends. When you put in a slip stitch to go to the next round, instead of using the slip stitch from the color that you are using, you're going to use the slip stitch that you created with the new yarn. I love mixing colors with circles because it doesn't leave a lot of yarn. Basically, it's not messy at the back and you won't have to weave in any ends. As you'll see later in the video, it's very neat at the back. And for the measurements, since we're making a bucket hat, you'll need to have a flat circle for the top of the hat. And how you know you have enough circle is you're gonna measure the circumference of your head. So from your forehead, round back to your forehead. And from there, you're gonna measure the circle, and basically the circumference of a circle should be the same measurements with the circumference of your head. So from there is when you know that you're gonna need to stop increasing. And now for the last row, my last row basically for this hat, this is it. Let me show you how I got to the next row. So I just do a slip stitch on the very last stitch with the next color that I'm using. And for this row, to separate the flat top of the bucket hat from the rest of the hat from the sloping side, I'm gonna show you how I'll insert the hook because it's not where you normally would. So in this case, I'll insert it on the top stitch only, the top part of a stitch only. You see the back, it's very neat, it's very nice. Usually we insert the hook beneath the V's, but in this case, you're only gonna use the top part of the V so that you have a line that shows that the flat part of your hat is over. Basically, you're done increasing and you're gonna be left with the bottom part of a V showing. So that is basically how you divide the top part and the bottom part of a bucket hat. However, you don't need to do this. This is only a preference and it depends on the type of hat that you're making. Personally, I love to do this because when I get to the part where I need to increase again and I forgot how many increases I need to make, I usually just go back and count where I stopped. So once you finish that row, you won't increase again. You're gonna go with the same number of stitches up to the part where you feel like it's suitable for you. You'll also go back to the normal type of stitching right beneath the V-like structures. You can use a bucket hat that you already have to measure and to know where exactly you'll need to stop. So for that part of the hat, where you're gonna continue increasing, you'll now put your hook through the bottom part of a V. So the one that is facing you is where you will put in your hook, and that is for the part where the hat now starts going outward. It's practically ribbing, but for a different purpose. On this first row, I usually don't increase. I start increasing on the second row when I go back to normal stitching. At first, I wanted this to be a ruffle hat, but as you can see, my yarn is almost out and I didn't want to get new yarn for this project. So I decided to make it a ruffle hat but with a twist, and I'm gonna show you what I did. So I basically made it a normal bucket hat. So now I'll continue increasing from where I left off. For example, if my last row on the flat circle was increasing on each 11th stitch, I'll now increase on each of the 12th stitch for this row, and I'll increase on each row from there on. So on the next row, I'll increase on each 13th stitch, then each 14th stitch, then each 15th stitch, going forward until you get the length of the hat that you'd like. So from here, I wanted to add the ruffles at the very last stitch. So this is what I did. I wanted them in pink, and I used medium yarn because unfortunately my pink yarn was over. Even though I didn't want to use more yarn, I just had to. You can use the chunky yarn still, but I had the medium yarn, so that is what I used. I added 4 stitches and I used half double crochet on each stitch, and you can use double crochet or half double crochet for it to be more more lengthy than the single crochet, obviously, and this is what I ended up with. Thank you so much for watching. I've loved every second of this. I'd like to hear your comments, your opinions on this, and if you'd like to try this hat, please tag me on TikTok when you do. Send me pictures of what you'd like me to create or tutorials you'd like to see, and that's all. Bye.